What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Mike, full-time media seller. Today's video, believe it or not, is going to be a full step-by-step guide of using Go2Lister. I have been using this listing software probably for the past year or so. They've made a lot of great changes, so I figured it's time for me to make a video covering my exact process. So you guys are going to see everything start to finish and basically the reasons why I use the software, right? You know me, I don't want to spend all day listing. I want to get things done as fast as I possibly can. So that's going to be today's video. We're going to do some things here. We're going to be switching over to the computer. We're going to be coming back. We're going to be all over the place. But by the end of it, you're going to be able to actually list a box through Go2Lister and get it out the door and start making money. If you're interested in making money selling media, join a YouTube membership, $2.99, cheaper than a Happy Meal. We got weekly Zoom calls, private Discord, and also down below, we got the Go2Lister free 30-day trial. So you can try it for a month. And if you don't like it, you can move on to greener pastures. But this video is kind of show you a breakdown of exactly what I do, how I do it. And the first thing we have to worry about while we are sitting over here is the weight of the box. Amazon doesn't want you sending boxes over 50 pounds. And can you blame them? Somebody's got to lift up the box. So we have to weigh the box first. And remember, your box can't be any bigger than 24 inches on one side. I prefer the Lowe's small. They're not the heavy duty, just the normal. These are 16 by 12 by 12. They seem to work perfectly if you're just going to fill it with books. And let's see what our box weighs today. All right, we are at 40 pounds, 14 ounces. Amazon also wants you to round up, right? So this will be 41 pound box when we go ahead, and you'll see when we put all that information over on the computer. So we got this taken care of. We're gonna switch over to the computer, show you guys me listing while it's actually showing up in Go2Lister. Let's go. All right, we need to go over settings first before we do anything else related to listing, right? We want to make sure we have our settings correctly so when we actually list the products, the software is doing the work for us. So the first thing we are worried about is actually going in. You're going to connect your account, connect it to Amazon. That's pretty straightforward right through the website. But we are worried about our actual listing settings. So you're going to come in here, you're going to add your default shipping address. You also can add multiple shipping addresses. Maybe you're somebody that travels around or you have a lister you can send your items to. You can have multiple shipping from addresses. So yours will actually pop up when you click on this, like mine will. Item conditions. So you can have a default condition, right? Maybe you want to be the good default condition. I sell a lot of new DVDs and CDs, so I just leave mine blank. But if you're the person that is just selling, used books, then you would just need good, right? If you don't sell any new books, you could just have this set to good. Same with condition notes. You can add as many as you would like. So here goes all the condition notes I've used. I've used the same condition notes for over 5 years since I've been selling on Amazon. For books, solid copy with some shelfware and or markings scattered throughout. For CDs, DVDs that are used, disc is in working order, comes in original packaging. Brand new for new items. And then we have tested and complete in original packaging. I usually use this for video games because they have to be conditioned very good to be in the buy box. So I always make sure they have the manual inside. But those are the only 4 I ever use, right? And unless it's a video game, if it's a used book, CD, or DVD, every single time it's going to be good condition. There's no extra added from going up in condition. It's not like you're going to be able to get more money. Amazon only cares about the price. But SKUs, super important, right? I would enable this. You can select tags. So in your SKUs, in your Amazon inventory, if you use a spreadsheet or you just want to track a source or you have a commission-based business, you can actually add up to 6 tags. So for me, I got the source. I want to see where I got it from, the list date, a random number, and the sales rank. So these are the only ones that are important to me, but you can see, you can put the condition, the cost, who listed it, a custom counter, the ASIN, the list price. These are the 4 that work for me. You can do whatever 6 you want to have, but I just want to know how fast it sells, right? What's the list date, the sales rank? Was it a crazy high sales rank as well? And then the source, because I like to kind of track my sources, which ones are doing good, especially if I'm spending more money, say at a record shop or something like that. So you definitely want to set up the custom SKUs. It does give you an example here as you change it, so you'll be able to see what the SKU will look like over in Seller Central. Sources and listers. I kind of talked about tracking things. You can add your sources here. So when you go to list, you have to select a source. So for my generic one, it's just thrift, right? I don't track every single store. So I'm not putting down, you know, Salvation Army, Harrisburg, Salvation Army, Camp Hill. I'm just doing a generic one for my thrifting. For bulk, I do have a separate source for bulk pickups, libraries, just different things I tried. So you can have as many or as little as you want. Just make sure you have at least one because they're going to require it. Same with listers. Unfortunately, there's only one person here on the lister list, right? Mike, that's me. You're looking at him. Most of us are just by ourselves. But if you did have somebody else that was listing, you could have them. So you know, hey, this person listed X amount. If you have a quota for them or you hire somebody to list for you, you can have multiple listers as well, which is nice. Now the more important stuff, in my opinion, pricing rules. You can set a min-max if you want. I don't think we really need it, honestly, but if you wanted to, you could. Now your price rules, you have smart pricing or match the buy box. I believe smart pricing it's probably going to get you a little bit more money than matching the buy box. Now, you will see we'll go in and individually price every single one of our books. But if you look at the smart pricing, it gives you a little bit of a breakdown of what it's doing for you, right? So when you scan the item, if it falls into this sales rank, it's going to go off slot 1 plus 20% if there's no FBA offers, and it's going to go in FBA slot 4. So why does this make sense? Because this is a fast moving item. So AOK FBA slot 4, if that book is ranked under 125,000, because it's going to sell. Copies are selling every single day. Some of these listings sell multiple copies every single day. So this kind of gives you a little bit of leeway and tries to get more money back into your pocket at the end of the day. And I think that's super important in this business. Pricing, the initial price. So having something like this that's a little bit on the greedier side actually benefits people. And especially if you're new, this kind of holds your hand and kind of gets you more money for your items as you learn to list more, as you learn to price your items better. So I roll with smart pricing. I recommend rolling with smart pricing. I think it's the better one. Indicators. You can set up indicators. Say, for example, you're doing bulk and you don't want to scan things with your scouting app. You can have this set up so you can have your max rank, min profit. And when you scan the items into Go2Lister, you'll see it'll be red if the profit's this, or it'll be green if it's that. I really don't mess around with this, but you could if you wanted to cut out the listing software and just scan everything into Go2Lister, which is 100% feasible. Some people do that. Printer settings. Make sure you have your printer. You see you got the QZ trays connected. You want to install that. That's just so when we scan our items, the labels print automatically in order for us. This is the biggest time saver. One of the biggest things the guys over at Go2Lister preach is how fast it can be. And you do have to have this enabled, have it automatically set up. I got the Dymo. You don't need any fancy printer. It's just what I have. Some of you prefer a Rollo, Dymo, whatever you can afford. Don't feel like you need to have the Dymo just because I have it. Any standard thermal printer will work. Then you can set up your label size and your label orientation. You can test print labels as well. And if you're a bozo like me and didn't switch to your little labels, you will see here, this printed out on a 4x6 because I didn't put the little labels inside. So those kind of cover the settings that you need to have set up before we actually start listing in Go2Lister. So now we're gonna jump over, we're gonna list the books. You're gonna see Go2Lister screen as I'm scanning, what I'm scanning, how fast the labels are printing, and then we'll jump into pricing those books. Let's go. All right, so we have to create our batch before we do listing, right? So we want to create a batch here. You're going to go to create right from your main page. FBA, we're shipping it to Amazon. Batch name, you can put whatever you want, right? We're doing all books, so we're just going to roll with the book one. You see I do have some different ones. If you wanted to label your batch names, you could. It's not going to be in your SKU, but it will be in your actual shipment information. So we're going to do book. Pricing rules, right? We got smart pricing set up as our default. Listed by Mike, unfortunately, it's just me. Ship from address, that's going to be us. Who labels? You want to label your products, that's recommended. You're not paying Amazon to label your items. Packing type, we are packing individual products, right? Every one of these is a different product. Box contents, we want to provide the box contents ourselves. You can use 2D barcodes. There are some caveats that come with it. You have to enable it in Seller Central, and you can only put 40 unique SKUs in a box. I prefer the single box method. Usually I have more than 40 books in a box anyway, so I just use Go2Lister to provide the box content, and that's the one I recommend you use. So then all you're gonna hit is create batch. All right, so this is the main listing page we have here. You see it does give you good data up top, and these will update as you scan in more items. We got it set to default to good, quantity of 1, right? And it is gonna make you put a source in. This is all thrifted stuff. Buy cost. Put in here what your average buy cost is. I think that's the best approach. So for me, it's right around $1, a little bit less. So for this, I'm just gonna put $1. And if you're buying a bulk, maybe you had a whole bulk lot and you paid 10 cents a piece, then you could just put the 10 cents in here, and this will reflect in your profit as you list. You know, condition notes, they're right here. All we have, solid copy with some shelfware and our marking scattered throughout. We scroll down. We got auto print set up because that's going to let the labels print as we scan. You can use unique SKUs if you want, manual SKUs. You can allow restricted items, don't do that. You can print error labels, you don't need to do that either because they'll pop up here and you'll be able to fix the error on the fly. You don't need an actual label to print. So now the fun part, now we are actually going to start listing. So let's switch on over to the listing view of everything, and you guys will see Go2Lister update in real time. You'll see how fast I can scan this and how fast it actually populates, and we get the labels, and then we can move on to pricing. Let's go. All right, quick little inside of what we got going on. We have our 3 stacks of books. This is everything on side. These are both rows of books that are actually inside of the box as well. We got the Dymo here, so we're actually just gonna knock these out, and you'll see, you know, how quick we can scan, how quick it's actually showing up in Go2Lister. Any Bluetooth scanner works. I just have an extra ring scanner, so I keep one up here for when I'm listing. Connected to your computer, it's gonna make your life a lot easier. You could get one that's stationary that you can just hook up directly to your computer, but I prefer to just be able to use both my hands. So let's just scan some of these and get off to the races here. So every single one, you just get added to the queue. So you literally can scan as fast as you want. That's the big benefit for me. I don't get stuck sitting here waiting. It queues up the labels. You see, your printer's just gonna keep printing labels as you go, right? That's a huge benefit. Keep your stack sideways so you can just literally scan, restack, scan, restack. It's pretty straightforward. We will label them all at the end. You could stop and label them in each stack. That's probably the better way to do it, but for the sake of this video, I don't wanna sit here, stop, then start the recording again. So I'm literally just gonna scan them all in, and then I will label them after the fact. But you see, there's no waiting, there's no pause, there's no hesitation. And I will show you if we got some errors. It does look like we have one. I'll show you exactly how to address those as well. But let's get these listed first. And you do see on the screen here, it's popping up like the profit, your total cost, etc. And like I said, that updates as you continually scan. So don't worry about that number till you're actually at the point of being at the end. And then you can see exactly how much estimated profit you are going to make. We got one more stack to knock out here. But it's just so much easier and so much quicker than some of the other listing softwares. Basically all of the listing softwares that, to me, it's 100% worth it. And say if you run into something like this, the barcode's covered up, you can just type in the ISBN manually if you wanted to. That'll work perfectly fine, but for that, we'll throw that one to the side for now. Keep scanning, we only got a few more here. And the last one. So these will keep printing. As you can see, we got a huge line of labels here. So we're gonna cut away, I'm gonna get all these labeled. We'll cover the errors, and then we'll cover the rest of the steps to actually get this box completed and off to Amazon. So see you guys on the other side. All right, we have 3 errors. So as you scan, some of these errors pop up, and it's like meant to be. We got 3 different errors. We got the books out of our stack, right? Because we don't have the label for it. If it's an error, it doesn't print the F and SKU label. So we can go in, address the errors, get our labels to print. So the first one we have is this book here, 6 easy pieces. So You got multiple found. In these situations, you want to make sure you're always going with the one that has the lowest rank. Don't ever go for the one that's got a higher rank because it doesn't make sense. The one that has the lowest rank is actually cataloged correctly, is actually selling on Amazon. So for this one, we select that top one right there, and it's going to print out the label. We can slap a label on it, throw it in the box. Next up, we have this book, The Chair, a novel. So some items don't have the dimensions and weight in Amazon, right? So within Go2Lister, you actually can add it on the fly. And I keep a little measurer here, right? So you can do a quick measurement of the book. It's going to be 9. You always want to round up as well. 9 by 6 by 1. So we got 9 by 6 by 1. Weight doesn't have to be accurate. If you want to throw it on your scale, you can. I'm just going to say this hardback weighs a pound. Update it. It tells you dimensions updated successfully. Wait 15 minutes. You can set this aside. Give it 15 minutes. They send the data right over. Then you can scan this again and list it. Other listing software doesn't allow you to do this right within the software. So this is a huge benefit. And then I've been selling so long on Amazon, you think I would not be restricted. I am restricted. It doesn't let you list restricted items because we don't have that. You can hit the apply button. It'll take you right over to Amazon and apply to sell. But in my case, I've been doing this so long, I've done so much volume. If I'm restricted in it, they're probably going to need an invoice. It's a publisher, or for some reason, this book's behind a gate that unfortunately I cannot access. So we are just going to remove that from the batch as well. So you see your overall numbers here, exactly what you have going on, your sales value, your cost, your profit after your cost, your average rank, how many items. We're just going to go through and do some quick pricing here on this. It does show you exactly, right, like how they're pricing it off of. They're pricing it low, new, 10%. So you come in, you get to keep a graph. It's all built into the software. That's what I like about it. Everything's right there. There's no clicking through anything. You see all the data right there. You got your new column, your used, and your FBA column, which will contain your used and new items. So it's got us at 1105. So that's kind of like, I'm curious if we go down to 999, how much profit difference, right? We only go down like, what is that? 10 cents in profit. They go down to 9.99 because of the fee jump. So I'll leave this at 9.99. This thing's going to sell basically instantly, right? 6K ranked book. Let's keep on moving here. This thing has a crazy high rank, 12 million. Probably multiple listings when I scanned this out in the store and it pulled this listing for some reason, but I'm A-okay with it. There's no FBA offers, which I like. So for those, we'll come in at $16.99. Updates the profit. We're at $6.80 now. Another one here, no used FBA offers. You can see used is $3.15 currently. There is one new FBA offer at $24.64. So for me, we'll get a little bit more greedier on this one. Go $18.99, being the only used player in the game, should work out. All right, fast mover 56K, new offers at $16.64. There's no used FBA. Let's make sure they at least get $1 off to entice them to actually buy the item, right? Need some kind of discount from the new. FBA 3, this is a great example, right? 310K ranked book. You don't want to be down at the $9.99 with this person. You see Amazon's on the listing at $20.24. The buy box is with Amazon at $20.24 new. So I do think this is good. It automatically prices right where it should be. We're perfectly fine being third in line here at $13.68. You can see there's really nobody else above us there. So leave this at $13.68. Another fast mover here. Amazon's on it for $16. We got a lot of people down here fighting in the $9, $10 mark. I'm A-okay with going up to $12.99 on this. Don't just assume that every price they give you is going to be correct. Can't say it enough. Come in here, double check the work the software does. The software does what it does, right? The smart pricing rules are the smart pricing rules. This one's priced at the buy box, so let's see what we got going on here. This is an acceptable offer at $18.95. Being that we're good condition, we can actually come in a little bit higher, I think, go $19.99, and we should steal the buy box from the acceptable offer, even though we're priced an extra $1 above it. All right, so here's another one. We got the new at $25.68, $19.96. It's going off the merchant, as you can see, the little box there. I'm fine with that. I think that's where it should be anyway. They save $4 or $5 buying it used. It is ranked over 1 million, so they're more enticed to buy it. It's not the fastest moving book, so Can't be as greedy in some of the other situations. FBA 1 here, we are at $12 acceptable. Got a bunch of new offers as well. I think we're going to go up here. It's 271K rank. Let's get a little bit more greedy, especially considering the new offers are $27. The used buy box is going to this because if this is the only used offer, most of the time they won't give it to acceptable. So that's why the used buy box is probably going to that merchant. Buy box here for this one, no FBA offers. Get a little bit greedier with this. This is a slower mover, but we still can get more bang for our buck being the only prime offers. All right, we got craziness on this listing. Amazon selling it for $102. The buy box is going to $20.40. This is a fair, it's not a super slow mover. It's not super fast. So I think we'll go up to $19.99 here, being that will be the only used FBA offer. All right, another one here, 96K rank book, pretty solid. FBA 4. Basically all the same here. We're just talking pennies, so really no big difference here. I'll just match the buy box, and you can just click on the price and it automatically updates. We got low new minus 10%. I'm a-okay with that being where it is, $12.86. Amazon's $14.29. They save about $1.50. The complete musicians, FBA 3 at $65.26. This person here is selling at $30.81. I don't understand, but they will sell. Don't go down to the $30.81, right? This is if you're going off the buy box through Go2Lister, you'd be at $30.81. Smart pricing, it knows, it registers. Okay, we got one bozo who don't know how to price their items. Let's price a little bit smarter here. So we'll be next in line at $65.21 with this person here, and the buy box will rotate up, I believe, with Amazon being at $170 new. Low new, minus 10%, super fast mover here, $11.33. Remember, if you're close to that $10 to $11 mark, most cases it benefits you to go down to $9.99 because you only lose a few pennies because the fees are less than $9.99 and under. Buy box here, no FBA offers at all. Definitely can get greedy with this stuff. You'll be amazed at how much no FBA offers items I sell. Star Worms. A-okay here. We'll go down to the buy box just because. Buy box here as well on this one. Save $1.50. This is a little bit of a slower mover, so I'm gonna cut it down a little bit here. Buy box here at $24.43. Super high rank book. Why would anybody buy this for 50 cents less, right? If you can just buy it new at that. So for this one, get a little bit smarter here. We'll go down to $19.99. Will be the lowest offer across the board, and this slow moving stuff actually sells. Don't let rank scare you away. You know the data, you trust yourself. That's all this comes down to. All right, I'm fine with being at the buy box here. $18, I'm fine with that as well. $14.41. This is going to the merchant. We got 6 and they're all new, so we have to get greedy here. These are the opportunities, especially with a book ranked 617,000, that we can make more money being the only used FBA seller on the listing. So we literally get an extra $8 just being the only prime offer. It works, trust me. All right, buy box here, $14.98. New buy box is $23.95. We got 4 FBAs on the listing. So there is probably another FBA offer here, but I still think there's not enough to justify us going down to that price. We can, and our reprice will catch on to this eventually, so it's not a big deal. $30.88, I'm fine with that. New buy box is $37.37, so we can leave that one alone. $15.11, second in line here. Amazon's new at $15.90. The buy box $12.84. I don't think we have to go that low. I think we can wind up in the middle on this one. Go $13.99. Buy box here is $5.87 because there's no used FBA offers. Don't let this scare you like, oh, you're going to lose money. No, we just got to price it correctly. So we bumped this up being the only used FBA. Amazon selling it new for $22. We sell it used at $18. We'll make $8.67 instead of losing money. Road Rage, $21.84. It's about half off the new price. I think I'm a-okay with leaving it where it is. $19.97. This one's got to come down. Amazon's at $19.99. We got to offer some type of discount for somebody to buy used, right? No one's going to buy used for 3 cents to save 3 cents. Buy box here is $14.75. I'm fine with that. It's a million ranked book. New offers at 18. 14 here on this fast mover. We'll leave that alone as well. News at 17.81. 17.43, but there's no FBAs yet again. This is how we make a little bit more money. This is why we sell FBAs, so I pay higher fees. Buy box here also is going to a merchant at 7.12, but we don't care about merchants, right? There's only one new FBA at 32. The new is going to 25.85. I think we can get 18.99 out of this book. Kids books do well. Always scan the kids books. This is a kids book. 16.54. I think that's fine. We'll leave that one alone. 12.49, 2.50 off the new price. I'm fine with that as well. 14.75. That's fine by me. This is a fast mover, as you can see from the Keepa graph. 19.99 acceptable. We're fine competing at that. 13.83. That's less than $1 savings. So let's go down to 12.99. Your stuff has to sell for you to get paid. Don't try to squeeze every penny out of every single item. $18. New is $20.96. All right, I'm all right with that. Buy box here is $11.21. We got no FBA players in the game. We are going to get a little bit greedy with this one. Don't get crazy greedy. Get a little greedy. Don't get crazy greedy. All right, so we got everything priced. Now we are going to go ahead and complete this box. So you're up top here. We are going to send the batch. Let that take here, and you can actually, it's usually within a minute or so. We can label our one that we had sitting here, that, and I'll add this one that we put the dimensions in. That'll go out in the next box. All right, so now it shows you what you got going on, right? One box method for me, inventory placement fees. So I know when that one box is loaded, everything's going back in it. I know the weight. There's no splits, none of that nonsense. We're accepting the shipments. We're moving on to the next page. We know the weight was 42 pounds. We know we only have one box here. So if you did do multiple boxes, you could add the books to each box. This would be the page you're going to do it. But we are one box. So this is as easy and straightforward. And this is how I like to be, right? It shows you all your items have been added to the box. We're fine with that. We'll dismiss it. You can hover over this and it even shows you, right? Please wait until Amazon processes your items before sending box content. This usually takes a minute. The one box method, that is the biggest thing for me. People always say, why not just list 200, 300, 400? I can just do one box, knock it all out. I know what's all going back in that box. I know what the weight of that box is. I'm clicking one button on this page instead of playing the game of what goes in what box, what goes in what box. And now you can see we can click send box content. Completed. Now what we're going to do, put in our weight. It's always good that you use the same boxes. I know some of you are cheap and try to save money on boxes, but put this in. Same thing here. Wait until Amazon processes your box content before continuing. Usually takes a minute. And I'm just going to have to add. And the way I like to stack the boxes, right? We got 2 full rows of the smaller books. And then on top is where we can put like all the weird shaped books that are really big. It just makes everything easier. I'm all about processes. I want to be as fast as I possibly can, start to finish, right? You guys know I'm in this business about 20, 25 hours a week. Sales good on my end. I can't complain about doing, well over 10K every single month in sales. I get my time back. I can, watch killer clowns. I can pet my cats if I want to, right? So now we see it's been accepted. We're good to move on to the next page. We want to submit this. So only take a second here, and it's going to take you to your actual shipment page, right? So we're not going over to Seller Central ever. It's all done right through Go2Lister. That's another benefit of the software is you don't got to switch back and forth between what you got going on. You want to make sure you swap your labels back out, right? I don't have 2 printers. Listen, I'm a cheapo. You guys know me. All right, so then all we're going to do is hit accept charges. You'll need to accept pop-ups and downloads, right? So you're just going to accept the charges. You're going to get your 2 labels, and that's it. It's that easy. I love the software. It saves me time. It saves me money. If you wanted to do the 2D barcodes, you can. I still think the single box method, if you're trying to be efficient as you possibly can as a one-person operation, having that box ready to go, knowing it's under the 50 pounds, doing one box at a time, knocking them out, that 100% is the most efficient way in my eyes. So that's going to do it for the video. Remember, we got the 30-day free trial down below. We got the membership that's got weekly calls to help you grow your Amazon business. As always, I appreciate you watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more useful videos. Bye-bye.